Hi, I'm sitting here in the library's new music technology studio, a space which would not have been possible without a grant from the Sorenson Legacy Foundation. In the next 5 minutes, you will learn more about the studio and the creative work that happens within these walls. This is an exciting space, filled with the latest music technology resources for students, and we are thrilled that it's here waiting for you.
We just coordinated with both the piano area and the tech area, and we split the lab so that we could have a really nice piano lab on this side with really high-end pianos, and then more of a computer lab on this side. So I love this teaching environment because I can see all the screens, so I can come and help a student. I can see if they're stuck someplace. We have this TV up here, and we have some really nice speakers so that we can all watch the TV and play, but also on each one of the screens, they can see my screen, or I can see their screen. When I teach my classes, I always try to have two options: the open source option, or the inexpensive or cheap option, and then the high-end, maybe expensive option, but what most professional musicians use. So, of course, we have Sibelius on all of these machines. And we even do an assignment in Sibelius. But we also teach you MuseScore, which is an open source version of a notation program.
So this is a project I've been working on. Everything's hooked up to Logic, so if I play anything, then it'll just start recording on MIDI. So this is what my final score looks like. And then the other thing that I do is I go to the recording lab and then I'll record my voice. And so you can add that track onto your MIDI file. Under the piano, hands behind your
head. This is actually a final project that we do in 3250, the course that talks about multi-track recording in a session. This is a session that was recorded live. It's Brandy Carlisle. It came with the Logic Pro when it first shipped. Here are all the tracks. You can see we're doing auxiliary sends. We're doing EQs on a lot of them. We're doing buses for submasters, and we're also doing reverb. You can hear the reverb. Let's play a little bit.
First sign of morning is gray and alarming. It's so disappointing. The day has come so soon. All the rest of the world.
This is going to be for a 5.1 surround sound concert. Basically what I'm doing is I took a 2-second clip from just a pop song, and I'm using that material to create an entire piece. The way I'm doing that is I'm slowing parts of it down, I'm distorting parts of it, I'm taking it through some filters and creating different sounds with it, and just seeing how creative I can get with this. So I've got these crazy dissonant sounds like this.
So one of the programs that we use for electroacoustic composition is Max MSP. It's used all around the country, where you have these little objects that you can build a patch with. So for this assignment, we're building a virtual theremin. In other words, a kind of a digital version of the classic theremin that you play with your hands, or without touching it, but the motion of your hands. And this is what it sounds like. And I'm using the mouse to control the sound.
I was learning about this plugin in my electroacoustic composition class. It's very powerful. There's a lot of things you can do with this. What I'm going to be showing today is how we can actually import an image to use as a filter on one of our samples that I've imported to Alchemy. And interestingly, what I did, I took a photograph from my photography class. I thought it'd be interesting to use a picture of a conch shell that I took. And then we'll just import it into Alchemy and Logic Pro. And then we're gonna hit play. So as you can see, this playhead is moving across, and it's actually using data from the image to filter the sound.
This is something called opus modus for algorithmic composition. And here's the example that kind of comes packaged with it. Once you describe the algorithm that you want to try, you can evaluate it, and it will not only play it for you, but notate it and give you a graph. But this is kind of to me, it's the most powerful system I've ever used, because you write your own code. And essentially, you're building synthesizers like this without the nice slick interface. So here's an example we were talking about in this class. We were talking about FM. So here's an FM example. And it's just maybe 15 lines of code, 30 lines of code. And here's what it sounds like.
My name's Alvaro Varas. I'm currently a senior at the University of Utah, and I'm majoring in music composition. This was my approach when I was first composing it. I was just playing out the melody. This is just one of the many scores that I kind of made during our lessons. It's kind of just the melody written out here, and then I have the chord symbols written right above. At times I actually write what instruments I want. Like I could write trumpet or bells right next to certain notes, or even strings. And after that, I just go right into finale and make the magic.